Welcome to the VetPractice Playbook, brought to you by VetPractice Pro, where we talk all things veterinary leadership, management, clinic ownership, and more. I'm Dr. Emily King, joined by John and Kayla Biddles.
Hey.
And we're here today to talk about some interesting topics.
Yeah.
One in particular. Stop doing tech work.
Right.
There it is.
Let your techs do the tech work.
Amen. Okay. Listen, don't forget to check us out at vetpracticepro.com because that's where all the good stuff lives.
Yep. And our Circle community. Make sure you check us out on Circle. It's a great way to talk to other veterinary professionals. You can ask questions. We post stuff on there. Just a great resource for you guys.
And finally, don't forget to join our email list.
Yeah.
So important to have you guys connected with us.
Absolutely. And you know what? I just finished the last day of the 6-week mastermind on becoming a clear and confident leader in veterinary medicine. And one of the people on there uses some of the tools that we have on the website. And she says they're very helpful. And so that's really good because actually we were talking about something, venting and gossiping. And she was like, how do I develop a system, so that people want to come tell me their problems. And so then I was talking about the SOP about how to get people to put their problems and be able to understand whether or not it's really a problem,
right?
And so we had this SOP on how to do that. And so she was the one who goes, I think you actually might have an SOP on that. I was like, actually, you're right. We do.
Yeah.
So,
jokingly, somebody posted in Circle about SOPs and she was like, I know you're going to say you need an SOP for everything, right? And I was like, you are right.
You are right.
Yes.
Also rounding will get you that too.
Yep. So there's so many
too.
things on there. Go check it out because it's all of our problems fixed.
Yeah.
Yes. It's a good way to say it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So today's episode might hit a little nerve, but it's something that needs to be said. If you're a practice owner, a veterinarian, or a practice manager still regularly doing tech work, then that's a problem.
Yep.
We need to talk.
Yep. So here we are.
Step away from the patient. No, just kidding.
Yes. Yes. Which I'm sure you're all like, but I have to. We're short-staffed. I have to help.
Stop touching stuff.
That's right. That's right.
Yes. But every minute you spend functioning as a tech is a minute you are not functioning as the owner or the manager. And so all that stuff gets put on the back burner as well. So,
yeah. And then there's a real cost to it.
Yeah.
Over time.
Yeah.
So,
right.
one of the associate veterinarians at All-Star would take her patients out of the room herself and then walk them to the back and then stand there waiting for the technician to take the dog. So if you multiply that amount of time times however many patients times however many days.
Right.
And I finally was like, listen, you have to, there are so many other things that you could be doing, even though it doesn't feel like a lot of time, that you could be doing that only you can be doing.
Right. Like you're charting and not staying late, doing your charting.
And not being late. Yeah.
As someone who's Six Sigma certified,
yep, I was going to say.
This is the whole entire goal, is to find these inefficiencies.
Absolutely.
How much are you paying for wasted time where you are able to lead in a higher capacity than the tasks that you're doing? The clinic needs to get the most out of you, and that is not the way.
That is not the way to do it. Or being the one who just has to pull the hair out of the ears when they have an ear infection and it's a really dog with a ton of hair in its ear and you got to get it out of there to treat it. You don't need to be the one doing that.
Right.
That's an entire appointment's worth of time if you're doing both ears that you could have been doing something else.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do think it also blurs the line when you have somebody functioning in two different roles on what your staffing and workforce needs actually are. Because if you're filling tech responsibilities, do you really have enough tech support to make your practice successful, or does it depend on you and contribute to your burnout, which we also have a ton of information on?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, I can kind of speak a little bit of why this tends to happen because I was in this role. So I started out as an RVT and then, got into the leadership role, practice manager role. And so to me, it was like, oh, I'll just jump in because I know how to do it. I'm a tech, I'll do it. But again, it would take away from the manager side work, but then also kind of John's point of, do we really have a hole? Do we need to hire another technician, or do we need to change up staffing, or because I kept filling that role? So it was really hard to I can help, but I'm not going to help.
Well, I think people feel really guilty delegating.
Yeah.
So like, it's not that people don't know how to delegate. It's the feelings that come with delegating. So like, I think that when, like, what I hear from people is like, oh, I'm dumping work on somebody else by giving them more work. But you're actually, or maybe you're making their day harder, or so then I'll do it. I'll take that patient to the back. I don't want to, your day's already hard enough. You're already doing x-rays. Like, I'll do it for you. Right. But I think that then you're not doing the other things like you mentioned, finishing your notes or putting your orders in, or, figuring out your dosage of medication. So now you're not doing any of those things that only you can do, and it's, people need to stop thinking about it as like putting work on other people and more about putting the work where it belongs.
Right.
I think there's 2 reasons this happens. It can be narrowed down to a couple different reasons. The first reason that people keep these responsibilities, they feel guilty for delegating. And usually it's because they already see burnout in their staff and that they're overwhelmed. So they don't want to add anything to their plate. So they do it themselves.
Right.
And the second reason is that leader, that practice owner, that veterinarian has control issues and they don't feel like it's going to be done properly unless they do it themselves. And you have to learn to let go and drop back into a teaching role, teach how you want it done. So that way you would eventually have an off ramp and you can step away from it.
Yeah.
Both of those can be fixed by evaluating the amount of your time that you're spending doing it, deciding whether you need to add more staff to help your staff with the burnout, and also free you up to drop you back in a teaching role so things can be done to meet your expectations.
Yeah. You're not asking them to do your work. You're asking them to do their role. And when you practice below your role, then you're taking away from allowing other people to grow into what they're doing. So you think you're being helpful, but you're not.
Yes. If you've ever been on the receiving side of it, the technician who has the veterinarian jump in, if you're successful, you have a system to yourself and you're messing up their system. Whether you think you're helping or not, you're screwing their day up.
I think too, as a technician, like, let them do, like, they went to school, like, let them do the job. Like, the doctors don't need to be drawing blood. They don't need to be plucking the ears. Like,
yeah. It's like a TV medical drama where the doctors do everything for the patients. In real world hospitals, that never happens.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Yeah. Okay, so what is it really costing them when they do it?
Well, so as managers, I guess I'll speak into the manager position. So like performance conversations aren't happening. Team conflicts, they go unaddressed because you're too busy doing the tech work or whatever. You have scheduling issues that's just put on the back burner, so they never get fixed. All the KPIs aren't reviewed. So all of that world is just put on the back burner. So the cost of the clinic goes down as well because they're all stepping in doing tech work. So I don't know, on the DVM side, if you want to.
I think it is you just aren't delivering the same type of patient care, like, or you're not able to get as much done during the day that you normally would be able to if you're doing other things outside of your role. And then what happens over time, so we were laughing because again I was talking about this person in Mastermind, and we were talking about, I was like, oh my God, you're a gap filler.
Yes.
Like filling in the gaps. That's what, because she was saying yes to everything because she felt like that was how she was being helpful. And she was like, oh my God, I am, and it's like, yeah, well, now you are keeping, like, to your point earlier, management from being able to figure out where the gaps are.
Yeah.
Like if you're doing their role now, how do they know that they need an extra person or that person's not performing up to par or standard?
I think if you're in a position of leadership, ownership, management, we need to talk about actual costs too, not just the invisible costs, but literally dollars and cents. You are being paid at a premium dollar to do premium tasks, like handle any sort of issue that's going on in the clinic, whether it be with your staff, your client experience, to have oversight on how you can improve, to measure outcomes, those type of things. That's what you're being paid to do. And you were shortchanging your business by dropping into that lower role that can be paid for at a lower rate. So when you're really looking at your staffing, what you're spending on staffing, make sure that your premium pay is doing premium jobs.
Right.
Because it's very easy to hire somebody in at a lower rate to take some of these tasks so that you're performing at the top of your abilities. And it will literally cost you dollars and cents as an owner.
What do you guys think when somebody's like, but the work won't get done?
It will. I think, it always gets done, right? Yeah, that's where I think you have to know then, do I need another technician or doctor, whatever? Or do I need to lead these people up?
If you feel like the work won't get done, my best advice to you is to take a day or two, a week. It may seem like you can't do this, but step back and watch. You need to sit back and watch how fast are your techs moving? How efficient are they? Are they scrolling on their phones and not getting it done? Or are they just buried all day? And we've said it over and over again so far in this short podcast that you need to evaluate your staffing. And do they have the resources they need, or do they need coaching on efficiency and systems? What do you as a leader need to do to remedy that? And the answer is not do tech work.
Well, yeah, because I think that the more you do it, like you feel like as the veterinarian that the work won't get done. You have no one to hand off the work to. So that's the dilemma that you have then is it's just easier if I just go and do it. But if the other party responsible for fixing the problem doesn't feel the pain, then you're going to be you're in that loop forever.
Yes.
You are permanently, then that is how you're going to exist. It is not something that that's going to come and go. And that is why I feel like you have to have that boundary, because the party that's able to make a decision to change that has to feel that pain in order to know that it is a pain point. The technician needs to feel overwhelmed such that she complains to her practice manager that she has no one to hand the work off to. The practice manager then needs to feel like I'm filling in so many holes. This is ridiculous. I can't do my work. I need to hire whatever. Without feeling those pain points, nobody knows where. So otherwise you're just covering.
Yeah. I think that you need to understand seasons in business. That is this a season?
Or sure. Yeah.
Is it because there's going to be seasons where it's just busy. I mean, things are going to happen where it just gets busy. And are you working in these type of roles to get through a season? Do you have somebody on maternity leave? Do you have a medical leave of some sort? And this is a season, but you cannot fall into the trap, to your point, saying that this is the way it's going to be forever, because then it becomes part of routine and you put yourself in a survival mode.
I think that's
really
just how
what you do.
Burnout and all that stuff. Then people end up leaving and quitting.
Yeah, there's a malalignment. Now, with what your expectation was and what your role was going to be as a veterinarian and what the practice is requiring of you. And that is no longer in alignment.
It also blurs the lines of leadership. If you're a leader and I report to you, but you're functioning on my level, and I'm supposed to be a leader, but you're here in it. Who do the people that report to me report to? Do they report up to you because you're the end all be all boss?
Right.
Or do they still report to me? You might end up undercutting a technician leader by being involved in that because you're blurring the lines of hierarchy.
Right. Good point. Yeah.
And I also say too, we're not here to say if you're a practice manager or a DVM, don't ever help. I want to make that clear of you're going to have to step in and help sometimes. But if it's a daily thing where you are literally acting as a technician, red flag, you need to change something.
Yes, you're a manager. I think you had written in there, you're a manager who does tech work sometimes, right? Not a technician who manages. Isn't that kind of the thought that,
You can if you're not careful, you'll devalue people. In my model at work, I run a desk, and there are certain administrative tasks that I have a secretary, we call it a unit representative, that they do. And if I try to do that to be helpful, you can tell that she's like, no, this is my job. This is what I'm here for. This is why I'm paid. This is why I'm valued. And when you do that, what am I supposed to do?
Right.
And so you just have to tread this really lightly. And the best answer is to stay out of it.
Stay out of it.
Well, I think too, that goes to as an RVT, if there was somebody else doing the job, like a DVM or whatever, it's well, no, I can do that. You go do something else.
Yeah. Having a voice, make sure you don't, don't be afraid to speak up.
Yeah. For sure.
So, okay, they recognize this is a problem. How are they going to fix it? If that's the case.
So I think it goes back to what John was saying, kind of like an audit of your day. So keep track of how much time you spend doing this or doing that. So then I think you'll see like, oh gosh, I spend 90% of my day doing tech work and I only spend 10% on like running the clinic. So writing that down, doing kind of like a time audit of your
I love
day.
time audits just in general. Like for lots of different purposes. I think it serves a great purpose here. I think in other purposes, because people have what we call the veterinary gut feeling. They think that they're spending this much time or it only requires this much time. And then when you actually measure it, you're like, oh,
yeah,
I didn't realize it was taking me 10 minutes to make my incision into the abdomen.
Yeah.
I could probably speed that up and get another surgery in, so time audits I think are extremely helpful.
Yep.
I think your time audit should reveal, or your goal should be, that you spend the majority of your time as a leader eliminating barriers for the people below you rather than jumping in and doing it.
Yep.
You have to fix the root of the problems as a leader, and that will show the type of support they need. They don't need you in there with them. That blurs everything and it makes it muddy. If you can come and you can watch and you can listen and you can hear their issues and then work with them to strategically develop ways to eliminate these walls that they're hitting to streamline their work, that's where your time tool should show the majority of your time. You're spending too much time in the business and not on the business.
Okay. I like it. Setting the time blocks for working on things, I think, is really valuable. If you don't schedule your priorities, then the urgent screams louder.
Yep. And I think, too, like for some people, you have to put it in your calendar.
Yep.
So from like 9 to 11, you are doing manager, business owner stuff. Because if it's not in your calendar, you're just going to go on about your day.
Yeah. And I think the time auditing even goes for how you spend your week. If 10% of your time is supposed to be spent on the floor, what does that actually look like? It's 30 minutes every day, or if it's 10 minutes twice a day, what is that? 90% or 60% needs to be this, 30% this, like what is your day supposed to look like? What's your week supposed to look like? It's much easier than trying to be like, oh, I haven't done that this week, I'll do it now.
Yep.
And you spend 8 hours working as a receptionist.
Well, the problem with that is you get home and you sit down, you get done with dinner, kids are in bed, whatever it may be, and you spend your whole entire downtime when you're supposed to be watching some serious Netflix, thinking of all the things this week that you haven't done, that you should do, and why. It's always because I spent too much time doing something I shouldn't be doing.
Or when you can't answer the question, what did you do today?
Right.
I don't know.
All of it.
I have no idea what I did.
Just running around putting out fires.
Yeah, now that you mention it, I'm not sure what I did today.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. What else?
I do think they need to make sure they communicate the shift as well. So they need to let their team know, because otherwise it can be like, well, now like she's too good to help me now, like type of feeling.
Where she is in her office again.
I really do think that's the first big step. You're right.
Yeah.
There has to be some communication about it. Hey guys, I looked at my time block. I am not functioning where I need to be, and I think I can help us all if we shift to this. Support me in it. Help hold me accountable. You need somebody who can hold you accountable. That when you try to jump in, they're like, hey,
Nope.
Is this on your time block?
Yeah.
Is this the best use of your time? We will be okay.
Right.
But is this where you need to function? And if you don't have people like that, build them.
Yep. Build them. Absolutely.
Yep. Then I think, really just identifying the root problem. So do you need staff? Is it a scheduling issue? Is it a training issue? Like what's going on? Like why are you getting pulled in? Yep.
Identify that.
Yep. Identify it and then spend your time fixing it.
There we go. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. Some very practical tools right there.
So that's it for today's episode of the VetPractice Playbook. We hope you get a few plays to use for yourself or for your clinic. If you enjoyed this conversation, share it with others, leave us a review, and check out vetpracticepro.com for tools and courses that can take your clinic to the next level. See you guys next week.